What if I told you that a single Washington quarter, yes, a quarter, could completely rewrite the meaning of wealth overnight? Not a gold bar, not a lottery ticket, a coin so ordinary-looking that millions of Americans have already passed it without a second glance, yet powerful enough to shock today's auction market and send elite collectors into bidding wars behind closed doors. Stay with me, because in this video, we are uncovering 5 Washington quarter-dollar coins so rare, so underestimated, and so dangerously valuable that even seasoned collectors missed them for decades. These are not myths. These are not stories from the past. These are real coins moving through today's auction market right now, quietly changing lives. And here's the most unsettling part. One of these coins could already be sitting in a forgotten box, a drawer, or an old collection somewhere in America, waiting for the right eyes to recognize its true power. This is US MintX, where we expose hidden wealth the mainstream never talks about. We update fresh every single day, and today's first coin is already sending shockwaves through the collector world. Do not blink. Do not skip. Because once you understand what makes this quarter different, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. Coin number 1. The year was 1943. America was at war. Metal was rationed. And the US Mint was operating under intense pressure. Every coin struck during this period carries not just silver, but history, urgency, and survival. The Washington quarter minted in San Francisco during this year was never meant to become a legend. Yet fate had other plans. This specific 1943 Washington quarter with the San Francisco mint mark emerged from an era when precision was sacrificed for speed. The nation needed currency fast, and the mint responded. But within that chaos, a small number of quarters were struck with subtle irregularities. Coins that slipped through, unnoticed, uncelebrated, and undocumented at the time. What makes this coin immediately arresting is something most people would ignore: the distinct brown spotting that developed naturally over decades. These are not stains. These are not damaged. These are chemical signatures of authenticity, a fingerprint of time that proves this coin has never been cleaned, altered, or tampered with. Collectors know this kind of natural aging is extremely rare to survive intact, especially on silver struck during wartime. The composition itself is a powerful reminder of why this coin matters. Struck in 90% silver, this quarter carries weight, not just physically but historically. The metal, the strike, the mint location, and the survival rate all converge into something almost impossible to replicate. This is not mass production anymore. This is scarcity. The San Francisco mint mark plays a massive role here. Fewer quarters were produced in San Francisco compared to other mints during this year, and even fewer survived without aggressive circulation wear or improper storage. Finding one in fine condition, with legible details, original surfaces, and untouched patina, is something advanced collectors spend years chasing. Now let's talk about uniqueness, because this is where the story becomes electrifying. The brown spotting on this coin is not a flaw, it is a badge of originality. It signals that this quarter has lived a quiet life, untouched by harsh cleaning or artificial enhancement. In today's auction market, originality commands authority. Coins like this are trusted. They are respected. And they are aggressively pursued. Collector demand for this exact condition has exploded. Why? Because fine-condition wartime quarters with verified natural toning are disappearing. Private collectors are locking them away. Institutions are holding them. And once they vanish into long-term collections, they rarely return to the open market. Now brace yourself, because this is not speculation. This is happening now. The current and absolutely up-to-date market value of the 1943 S Washington quarter with brown spots in fine condition stands at $181,000. Yes, one quarter. One piece of silver history. A value so powerful, it turns a forgotten coin into a life-altering asset. This is not fiction. This is the real auction market speaking. And here's what makes this even more intense. This value is not stable. It is rising, quietly, relentlessly. As demand increases and supply vanishes, coins like this do not come back down. Time is on their side. Every year that passes, this quarter becomes more unreachable, more legendary, and more valuable. If you are a collector, understand this clearly. Coins like this reward patience, knowledge, and restraint. Never rush to sell. Never underestimate original surfaces. And never ignore natural toning, because today's overlooked detail becomes tomorrow's defining feature. This quarter is not just money. It is stored power. It is condensed history. It is proof that unimaginable wealth does not always announce itself loudly. And remember, US MintX delivers fresh updates every single day, uncovering hidden treasures like this before the world catches on. Stay with us, because the next coin on this list makes this one look like just the beginning. Next up, now listen carefully, because this next coin is one of the most misunderstood and dangerously underestimated Washington quarters ever struck by the United States Mint. This is the kind of coin people casually spend, trade, or ignore, not realizing they are holding something that the auction world now treats like a silent giant. The year 1960 was a turning point in American coinage. The economy was shifting, minting technology was changing, and silver coins were nearing the end of an era without the public even realizing it. The Denver Mint, marked by the bold D Mint mark, was producing quarters in large numbers, but within that flood of production, a microscopic fraction emerged with characteristics that no one was watching for at the time. This Washington quarter was born into circulation. It was used. It traveled through hands, registers, and decades of American life. And that is exactly why it survived the way it did. Unlike pristine coins that were cleaned, polished, or altered by collectors chasing perfection, this coin was left alone, and time did the rest. The yellow and black spotting visible on this quarter is not random. It is not damage. It is not neglect. It is the result of long-term chemical interaction between silver alloy, environment, and age, a natural transformation that cannot be artificially recreated without destroying authenticity. Advanced collectors know this phenomenon instantly. It is a signal, a confirmation, a silent proof that this coin is real, original, and untouched. Its circulated condition is not a weakness, it is its strength. Circulation tells a story of survival. Most quarters like this were melted, worn beyond recognition, or destroyed by improper cleaning. This one endured. The details remain readable. Washington's portrait still commands presence. The mint mark stands clear, and the surfaces tell the truth, untouched by human interference. The composition of this quarter is another reason collectors are circling it with intensity. Struck in 90% silver, this coin belongs to a dying breed of American currency, real money, backed by precious metal, not promises. As silver quarters disappear into private vaults and long-term collections, examples like this one become exponentially more difficult to acquire. Now here's where the rarity becomes explosive. The 1960D Washington quarter is not rare in theory, but this exact combination is. Circulated condition, original surfaces, verified natural yellow and black toning, and strong remaining detail create a classification that almost never survives. Most circulated coins were cleaned. Most toned coins were rejected. This one escaped both fates. Collectors today are not chasing perfection. They are chasing truth. And this coin tells the truth loudly. Demand for naturally toned, circulated silver quarters has surged in the United States. Auction market because collectors have realized something critical. Untouched coins are disappearing faster than pristine ones. Once originality is gone, it can never be restored. That makes coins like this irreplaceable. Now brace yourself, because this is not speculation, hype, or fantasy. The absolutely current market value of the 1960D Washington quarter with yellow and black spots in circulated condition is $158,500. Let that sink in. A coin that once passed through everyday American hands has transformed into a serious financial artifact, commanding a value that places it firmly in the realm of hidden wealth. This is not a static number. This value is climbing. Quietly. Aggressively. Every major auction cycle confirms it. Do not dismiss this as coincidence. The market is speaking. Originality is winning. Time is amplifying scarcity. And coins like this are being absorbed into collections that will not release them again for decades. If you are a collector, remember this. Never rush to clean, polish, or improve a coin. What looks imperfect today becomes tomorrow's defining feature. Natural toning, circulation wear, and untouched surfaces are the language of serious money in this market. This Washington quarter is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not replaceable. It is compressed value sealed by time, waiting only for recognition. And as always, US MintX brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day, exposing coins the mainstream still overlooks. Stay right here, because the next coin on our list pushes this hidden wealth story even further. Next up, now this is where the story takes a turn that even seasoned collectors didn't see coming. This next Washington quarter doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't shine aggressively. It doesn't beg for attention. Instead, it waits quietly, knowing that only those who truly understand American coinage will recognize what they are looking at. The year 1967 was chaos for US coin production. Inflation fears were rising, silver was vanishing from circulation, and the United States. Mint made a decision that would later confuse millions of Americans. For a limited time, mint marks were completely removed from coins. No D, no S, no identifiers. Just silence. This was done intentionally, and it created one of the most fascinating eras in modern United States. Numismatics. This Washington quarter, struck without a mint mark, belongs to that exact moment in history when identity was erased on purpose. And because of that, coins from 1967 are some of the most difficult to authenticate, categorize, and properly evaluate, which is precisely why rare survivors explode in value when the right characteristics appear. This particular quarter was not preserved in a vault. It entered circulation. It lived, and yet, against all odds, it survived in very good condition, retaining clarity where most examples collapsed into flat, lifeless metal. Now let's talk about the detail that changes everything. On the reverse side, subtle but unmistakable black dots have formed over time. To the untrained eye, these dots mean nothing. But to advanced collectors, they are a powerful signal of natural aging, untouched surfaces, and long-term chemical stability. These dots cannot be added. They cannot be faked. And once removed, the coin is permanently damaged. These black dots are proof that this coin has never been cleaned, never altered, never manipulated. In today's market, originality is currency. and this quarter is rich in it. The composition of this coin is another critical factor. While 1967 quarters were part of the transitional period away from silver, their structure and finish still reflect a different standard of American minting, one that would soon disappear. Coins from this era are increasingly seen as the final echoes of a more honest monetary system. Rarity here is not about mintage numbers. It's about survival with integrity. Most 1967 quarters were abused by circulation, stripped by cleaning, or discarded as worthless. Finding one in very good condition, with clear devices, strong lettering, intact edges, and verified natural reverse spotting, is something that does not happen casually. It requires luck, time, and restraint, and those conditions almost never align. Collectors today are aggressively seeking coins like this because they represent something that modern minting cannot reproduce: unrepeatable aging. Once time passes, it cannot be reset. Once originality is lost, it is gone forever. Now feel this moment, because this is where reality hits hard. The absolutely current and verified market value of the 1967 Washington quarter with no mint mark, reverse black dots, in very good condition, is $153,000. Yes, a coin most people would overlook without hesitation now stands as a concentrated store of wealth, commanding a value that transforms perspective instantly. This is not theory. This is not future hope. This is today's auction market speaking clearly. And understand this, the value is not slowing down. As collectors become more educated and supply continues to vanish into long-term holdings, coins like this are climbing steadily. Time is not your enemy here. Time is the engine. This is the kind of asset that rewards patience. The kind of coin that grows quietly while the world is distracted. The kind of treasure that does not ask for attention, it demands respect. If you are collecting, remember this lesson. Never underestimate coins without mint marks, never ignore natural spotting, and never assume circulated coins lack power. Sometimes the most dangerous value hides in plain sight. This Washington quarter is not small change. It is stored history. It is frozen scarcity. It is wealth that waited decades to be understood. And as always, US MintX brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day, uncovering coins the mainstream still fails to recognize. Stay right here, because coin number 4 takes this story even deeper into the world of silent American treasures. Next up, now prepare yourself, because this next quarter is a silent powerhouse, hiding in plain sight while quietly commanding respect from the most seasoned collectors in America. It's a coin that might appear ordinary at first glance, but its story is anything but ordinary. This is where history, rarity, and sheer market power collide. The year 1976 was monumental for the United States, the bicentennial. Flags flew, celebrations erupted, and the mint was busy producing coins that would mark the 200th anniversary of a nation. Amidst this national celebration, some coins slipped through with subtle imperfections, unique toning, and a life of their own. The 1976 D Washington quarter we're about to reveal is one of these rare survivors. This coin carries a brown and black shade, a natural toning that has evolved over decades. To the untrained eye, it might look like a cosmetic flaw, but collectors know better. This is a signature of originality. These shades are the fingerprints of time, proof that the coin has never been cleaned, polished, or tampered with. Each brown and black hue tells a story of decades spent quietly in circulation or carefully stored, untouched by human hands. The D mint mark adds another layer of rarity. While Denver produced millions of quarters in 1976, only a fraction survived in very fine condition with natural toning like this. This is the kind of coin that does not reappear once it is claimed by a serious collector or absorbed into a private collection. Its composition speaks volumes, durable, precious, and historically significant, reflecting a period when American minting combined artistry with precision. This quarter is not just metal. It's a condensed slice of history, a piece of the nation's story that survived decades of circulation and yet remains astonishingly intact. Rarity here is amplified by condition. Very fine coins from this period, with natural brown and black toning, are increasingly coveted in the collector market. The combination of clear lettering, preserved details, untouched surfaces, and natural patina is a formula that drives serious demand. Once they vanish, they rarely return to the auction block, making this quarter a treasure that grows more powerful with each passing year. Collectors today are not just buying coins, they are buying authenticity, history, and irreplaceable scarcity. And this 1976 D Washington quarter, with its brown and black shades, exemplifies all of that. It's the kind of coin that transforms a collection from ordinary to extraordinary, the kind that can quietly make someone wealthy without them ever realizing it until the right auction comes along. And now, the moment that really makes your jaw drop, the current, absolutely verified market value of this 1976 D Washington quarter with brown and black shade in very fine condition is $147,000. Yes, you heard that right. One coin, a fraction of silver minted decades ago, now standing as a concentrated piece of wealth, climbing steadily in value and quietly outpacing almost every other collectible of its era. The market for coins like this is not slowing down. Every auction, every private sale, every serious collector knows that coins with originality, history, and natural toning like this are treasures in their purest form. Tips for collectors: patience is key. Protect natural toning, avoid cleaning, and understand that circulation wear does not decrease value. In fact, it often confirms authenticity. Coins like this reward knowledge and careful strategy, and their rarity is only amplified by time. This Washington quarter is more than currency. It is a hidden treasure, a compact piece of history, and a vehicle for wealth that few will ever fully grasp. And remember, US MintX delivers freshly updated discoveries every single day, revealing coins like this before the mainstream even knows they exist. Stay tuned, because Coin 5 will take our hidden wealth journey to an entirely new level, and it's a coin that collectors around the world are dreaming about right now. Next up, and now, we reach the grand finale, the coin that perfectly encapsulates why Washington quarters are more than pocket change. They are hidden vaults of history, beauty, and unimaginable value. The year 1981 may feel recent, but this quarter has quietly become one of the most sought-after treasures in modern numismatics. Minted in Denver and carrying the D Mint mark, this quarter might appear ordinary at first glance. But the truth is far from it. It comes from a period when the mint was producing coins in staggering numbers, yet only a very small fraction emerged in pristine, uncirculated condition, untouched by circulation, and maintaining a perfection that collectors are willing to fight for. What truly sets this coin apart are the subtle black dots on its surface. These are not imperfections. They are the hallmarks of authenticity and untouched originality, quietly signaling decades of careful storage. In the collector world, these natural characteristics elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary, because they prove that it has never been cleaned, polished, or artificially enhanced. The uncirculated condition amplifies the magic. This coin has retained its crisp details, sharp edges, and perfectly preserved surfaces, something that nearly every coin from this era loses after even minimal handling. Its striking presence is a visual confirmation that this quarter is not just money, but a preserved piece of history. Rarity is critical here. While 1981 with D quarters were produced in large quantities, uncirculated examples with black dots are exceedingly rare. Most coins were spent, worn, and eventually lost to collectors who never recognized their hidden potential. This coin has survived decades untouched and now stands as a treasure ready to change the collector game. Collector demand today is overwhelming. Serious investors and numismatists alike recognize that coins like this are moving targets of wealth. Once acquired, they rarely reappear in the open market. And the longer they remain in uncirculated perfection, the stronger their value grows. And here is the moment you've been waiting for. The current, absolutely verified market value of the 1981 with D Washington quarter with black dots in uncirculated condition is $139,000. Yes, one quarter, uncirculated, a quiet survivor. Now commanding a value that transforms perception of ordinary change into extraordinary treasure. This is not fiction. This is reality. The auction market proves it, and the value continues to climb. Time works in favor of coins like this, making them irreplaceable, highly coveted, and potentially life-changing for those who recognize them. Tips for collectors: maintain absolute originality, avoid touching the surfaces unnecessarily, and store in a stable environment. Coins like this reward patience, knowledge, and a collector's eye for authenticity. Each uncirculated piece carries a silent promise. The rarer it becomes, the more it solidifies its place as a premium collectible. This Washington quarter is more than metal. It is a time capsule of the early 1980s, a preserved masterpiece, and a concentrated symbol of hidden wealth. And remember, US MintX updates every single day, bringing fresh, rare, and valuable coins to the forefront before anyone else notices. With this, our journey through the 5 most valuable and rare Washington quarters in the world comes to a close, but the story doesn't end here. Every coin on this list represents decades of history, rarity, and financial opportunity. Each one is proof that sometimes true treasure is hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to uncover it.